Today in crypto, do we have another 570 days left to this bull run? This could be the time when the millionaires are made. The time to accumulate Bitcoin is now. There is an XRP Ethereum Bridge underway. Kyber network is out there just crushing it. Russia comes down hard on crypto, and US crypto users can expect further harassment from your good friends over at the IRS. The Crypto Lark. This is where you subscribe for all of the latest and the hottest happening in crypto. By the way, if you are after an awesome and convenient way to spend your crypto gains, then get signed up for a Crypto.com debit card. You can earn up to 5% crypto-backed rewards for each swipe of the card, as well as other cool perks like free Netflix and airport lounge access. And as a special bonus, you can get $50 free when purchasing a Ruby tier card or higher by using the link down below in the description. So let's talk about Bitcoin. First, I want to show you this chart of Bitcoin addresses. In particular, this chart shows Bitcoin addresses with non-zero balances versus the price of Bitcoin. You can see on this chart that we had a big drop in the number of addresses holding Bitcoin post the 2017 bull madness, with lots of people, of course, selling their Bitcoin. But what is super fascinating has been the slow and steady reversal of this trend in an upwards direction since the start of 2019. Now there are nearly 29 million Bitcoin addresses off zero, which is absolutely amazing. And there are nearly 800,000 Bitcoin addresses with 1 Bitcoin or more. Now, what is extra compelling to me about all this data is that now we have more addresses off zero than at the height of the 2017 madness. And we've just crossed that number, but it's still very awesome. And this, you have to remember, is at a time when the price is 50% less than when it was back in 2017. Also, this chart shows a correlation between price and address activity, that as the creation of new addresses rise and as holders refuse to sell their crypto, that the price of Bitcoin more or less follows suit in an upward direction. Definitely awesome to see so much Bitcoin being distributed across so many addresses. Just remember, stack, sats, and chill. We are just getting geared up for the next super crazy time. Also, another curious bit of data for you is that the average Bitcoin price is higher in 2020 than it has ever been before. And okay, sure, look, we're only 2 months into 2020. I guess anything could happen. But I think that this year is shaping up to be a very, very exciting one for Bitcoin and the entire crypto market, and that this high average price trend is going to continue and expand as the year continues. In fact, you need to check out this really cool chart from a guy named Crypto Kia. By the way, that guy must be a Kiwi. The Kia, in case you don't know, is a cheeky alpine parrot that lives in the mountains of the South Island of New Zealand. Anyway, I digress. He shared this cool model which forecasts that we likely have 570 more days of bull run before the markets run out of steam again. So that's 570 days until we see the peak in price. And that we are essentially right now in the middle of a Bitcoin bull run that started back in February of last year and will go on until about September 2021, at least according to his predictions. Now, of course, there will be a bear market again at some point in the future. So if you miss that peak, then you're going to have to sit around waiting for the bottom again, or basically get used to shorting the market. So be ready. It's coming. 18 months according to this prediction. Now on to our big news story of the day. And the big one is that The Simpsons talked about cryptocurrency in their recent episode, spending nearly 2 minutes discussing how the technology works. This is cool. This is fun. I like it. And I think it really just adds on to the mountain of mainstream crypto coverage that we've been seeing over the last year or so. Of course, building up over time, obviously. But The Simpsons have, they've almost acted as something like of a predictive programming for society over time. If you go back and watch some of the old Simpsons episodes, at least you can kind of see some of these things play out. But crypto is coming in a very, very big way. The next decade for cryptocurrency is going to be insane, and people in the markets now, wowzers. Now look, you can knock the relevance of crypto being discussed on a cartoon, but you have to keep it real. The Simpsons still gets around 4 million views per episode, so not too shabby at all. Okay, next up, Ripple-backed Xspring, which in case you don't know, incubates, acquires, invests, and basically helps to foster crypto ecosystem projects, is now challenging developers to interconnect the XRP ledger with the Ethereum network. Awesome stuff. Now, this is on the back of news we had just a few weeks ago about a Bitcoin to Ethereum bridge, which was announced by Rootstock. Now XRP is working on a bridge as well. That is awesome. Now, the key objective of the XRP Ethereum bridge will be to create a layer for complex smart contracts to, of course, cater for the growing decentralized finance movement. Already we see, for example, Kava working on bringing decentralized finance to XRP, but the Ethereum XRP bridge will be a great step in the right direction. Now, this is really going to kick open the door to DeFi innovation across the entire crypto ecosystem, but particularly using XRP. And of course, we must underline here that they are building a bridge to Ethereum, not any other blockchain, but to the Ethereum blockchain, the beating heart of the decentralized finance movement and the absolute crypto leviathan that's just getting all the interest and all the innovation from around the crypto space focused on it. Now, in addition to all of that, Xspring has also pledged their support for the Ethereum initiative to help get 1 million developers building on top of Ethereum. So it's nice to see them supporting the overall Ethereum ecosystem as well. Now, in other Ethereum news, Kyber Network has just crossed the 100 million US dollars in on-chain trading volume. Nice. And that's just for the month of February, by the way. And you may notice the month of February, it's not yet over. So very cool to see Kyber Network really making a big splash in the decentralized exchanging scene. I've been a big fan of Kyber for a very long time. It's a fantastic decentralized exchange. You should definitely check it out if you have never used it. It's one of the easiest and quickest ways to swap Ethereum-based assets. Also, Kyber, in case you didn't know, has a fee burn model, which really only increases the price velocity of the token as the network continues to grow in relevance. The Coinbase listing for Kyber, which is just happening at the moment, has also proven that the Coinbase pump effect is still a thing. Okay, on to our next story. Russia's Federal Security Service, or the FSB, has agreed with the Russian Central Bank that cryptocurrencies should not be allowed as a means of payment on the territory of Russia. Now, to be clear, the Bank of Russia actually came out late last year saying basically the same thing. Now the Bank of Russia has the FSB backing them up, which is quite substantial because it is one of the most influential parts of the Russian government. So keep in mind, though, this is just payments. So exchanges, for example, they're still going to be allowed to operate in Russia. Mines can still mine Bitcoin in Russia. People can still own cryptocurrencies in Russia. It just can't be used for payments on Russian territory, which you will notice is very specific wording, which says to me that stories like this one of a Russian arms manufacturer using Bitcoin for the settlement of accounts with international clients is something that is likely to continue. You just won't see Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency being allowed to be used for payments in cafes or in shops or at car dealers or to pay your rent or to pay your electric bill or any other kind of stuff like that. So really a shutdown of the currency aspect of cryptocurrency, at least in the eyes of the Russian state. Store value, all good. Speculation, all good. But anyway, the reality is that the Russian state, they cannot actually stop people from exchanging crypto for goods or services. They can just make it a lot harder for businesses to publicly do it. The ruble must rule the land. Well, this is not yet been passed into law. I think we can expect the crypto bill that's been in and out of discussions in Parliament to actually pass here in the next few months. That's the rumor anyway. We've heard that before, so I guess we'll have to wait and see exactly what happens. But I do feel like it is almost certainly going to pass with the payment ban in place, since it has the blessing of the FSB and the central bank. Definitely a sad move by the Russian government, but kind of not a surprising one for a central bank and the intelligence services to come together and say, no, 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 you can't use that for payments. So what are you going to do? And the final story for today, the Internal Revenue Service of the United States has invited a number of crypto startups to a summit on March 3rd to discuss its existing approach to taxing cryptocurrency as well as enforcement efforts. Watch out, guys!
Admiral, we have enemy ships in Sector 47. It's a trap!
Okay, no, seriously though, that is not my actual IRS story for today. No, instead it is this. U.S. Revenue Agency looking to crack down on crypto tax evasion. So if you are in the U.S., make damn sure that you are taking care of your tax obligations. In fact, if you are anywhere, make sure that you are taking care of your tax obligations. But the IRS is definitely coming after crypto holders. While the agency has left a lot of gray areas in the tax code relating to cryptocurrency, they are certainly clear in their intent to criminally investigate those people who ignore reporting their crypto. Tax Law Office Clasing Associates has concluded that cryptocurrency examinations and criminal tax prosecutions are likely to surge in the near future. In fact, the IRS Criminal Investigation Division admitted that crypto tax enforcement would become one of its main priorities from now on. Like they have nothing better to do. Come on, man. That is absolutely hilarious. You know, it reminds me of this story from last year where the IRS actually admitted that they specifically target regular people, since the average Joe just tends to roll over in fear of the IRS, and thus they are much easier to chase and to collect from. Whereas the rich, they'll fight the IRS. They'll fight them with lawyers, with complex webs of offshore accounts and loopholes and trusts and shell companies and all this kind of stuff that the average person has no access to. So it's very hard and takes a lot of time, effort, and money for the IRS to go after the people who are actually doing criminal acts. Instead, they just decide to harass regular people who may or may not be accurately accounting for the gray areas that the IRS has failed to account for. Governments are basically criminal mafias, so make sure to pay your taxes, or else come for you. So the question for you for today, do you think that crypto being mentioned in mainstream sources like on The Simpsons will actually get more normies interested in crypto, or is it just a pointless gimmick that kind of doesn't really matter, just another feather in the hat for crypto acceptance at a mainstream level? Let me know your opinion about it down below in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching today's video. As always, you guys are super, super awesome. So thank you so much for watching this video and for continuing to support the channel. It really means so much to me. So thank you so much for your time. And if you did enjoy today's video, the thumbs up button, guys. And of course, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time.